So friends, just for a minute, we're going to need to stop the presses because this is a big legal development. Headline: Trump administration, for the first time, returns wrongfully deported migrant to the U.S. Let's talk about that because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. Well, friends, the Trump administration just did what it previously told federal judges it couldn't possibly do. The Trump administration just facilitated the return to the U.S. of a man they wrongfully deported. Let's start with the new reporting. This from ABC News. Headline: Trump administration for the first time returns wrongly deported migrant to the U.S. And that article begins, a wrongly deported Guatemalan man has been returned to the United States, marking the first time the Trump administration has brought back a deportee based on a judge's order. The man, who was wrongly deported to Mexico, was returned to the U.S. on Wednesday, according to his lawyer. The return of the man, identified in court filings only by his initials, OCG, is the first instance in which the Trump administration, in the midst of a sweeping immigration crackdown, has brought a deportee back to the U.S. after a judge ordered their return. Last month, U.S. District Judge Brian Murphy ordered the Trump administration to, quote, take all immediate steps to return OCG after he was placed on a bus and sent to Mexico, a country where he said he was previously held for ransom and raped, according to court filings. OCG, according to court documents, illegally entered the U.S. in March 2024 and was deported. After he subsequently re-entered the United States, OCG attested during immigration proceedings that he was afraid of being sent to Mexico, leading a judge to grant him a withholding of removal to that country. In other words, there was a court order in place prohibiting the Trump administration from deporting OCG specifically to Mexico. The article continues. Judge Murphy found that OCG was likely to succeed in his showing that his removal lacked any semblance of due process. This from the judge. Quote, no one has ever suggested that OCG poses any sort of security threat, Murphy said in his order in May. In general, this case presents no special facts or legal circumstances, only the banal horror of a man being wrongfully loaded onto a bus and sent back to a country where he was allegedly just raped and kidnapped. After OCG was sent to Mexico, authorities removed him to Guatemala, where he said he had to remain in hiding until his return, according to court filings. OCG is one of the original plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit filed in Massachusetts that challenges removals, deportations, to third countries. Okay, friends, 3 quick takeaways. First, the Trump administration complied with a court order. Now, that shouldn't be reason for celebration. It should be the norm, as it has been in our country for hundreds of years. Second, you heard in the reporting that this Guatemalan migrant, OCG, had been deported from the United States previously, but he came back. And after he came back, there were court proceedings held, and those court proceedings led a judge to order that OCG may not be deported to Mexico due to the risk of harm. Now, friends, here's something that tends to get lost in the mix. There are people who are and should be subject to deportation, but only after their constitutional rights have been satisfied, and only to countries where they won't be killed. I mean, do we really want to be part of the machinery that just mindlessly sends people who should be deported to countries where they are likely to be killed? Third takeaway, and friends, this one is probably the most important. It turns out the Trump administration can facilitate the return of people they unlawfully deport, people they unconstitutionally deport to other countries. Now, recall from the Abrego Garcia litigation, Donald Trump's third-rate DOJ lawyers were forever telling the judge, we can't possibly return Abrego Garcia. He's in a third country, a sovereign nation. Nothing we can do to bring him back. Well, given that they just facilitated the return of OCG from a third country, a sovereign nation, what have they done? They put the lie to their claims in the Abrego Garcia case and other cases that it's impossible. They use that word, it's impossible for us to facilitate the return of somebody from a sovereign nation. What unmitigated bullshit. And now they have shown themselves to be liars. None of this is going to end well for the DOJ lawyers who are taking these positions in court. None of this is going to end well for the Trump administration. Now, friends, let's finish with this. I would say directly to Donald Trump, you just facilitated the return of someone you wrongfully deported. Was that so fucking hard, sport? Now, do Abrego Garcia. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. If I can humbly ask you to hit subscribe on my YouTube channel, always free, doesn't cost anything, never anything behind a paywall, but it would help if you hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow, friends.